Hi, everyone. Sorry for the delay. We had some slightly technical issues. I hope they're fixed now. Maybe there will be some people joining a few minutes late because of the problems, but we thought we will start now. So again, very warm welcome to this little webinar. I'm glad about the big interest in this topic. We are almost 80 attendees, and that shows us that the topic of online reporting is on the agenda of more and more people nowadays, and especially the topic or the question of how do I make a great report. And for today, I have selected a few reports that I find very well solved, partly as a whole, and others that have solved certain partial challenges in a very state-of-the-art way. And that's what I want to show you today, and hope that you go out of this webinar with a little inspiration for your next online report. Just information, at the end of the webinar, you will get an email from us with all the links that you will see today. So there's no need to write everything down or to screenshot everything. You will get all the links in the end. And in case you wonder why you see a little logo in the left corner, the DRC, this webinar is part of the DRC, the Digital Reporting Convention. So just that you know. And just a side note from me, I work for nexxar. We are specialists in online reporting. So today you will also see one or two examples from us that we are proud of, but this webinar is not about us. It's about the topic of online reporting in general. So I made sure that we show a wide selection today. I will look at the examples from the lens of a designer. So I will talk about more about concepts and ideas and the general look, not really about the detailed content. That's about the information up front. Before we start, just a quick info about me so that you know who we are seeing here. My name is Karsten. As I said, I work at nexxar as an art director. I work here in Vienna. Originally, I'm from Germany, where I studied communication design. In this study, I have learned the, let's say, good old craft of graphic design, of let's say painting, and how typography works, and how to print a book, and how to make a logo and stuff like that. And with this knowledge, after that, I worked in a few agencies around Germany, especially in branding. And when I worked in branding, I came across my first report, which was, I think, for a private bank then. This report was printed, but there I learned and I realized how challenging it is, but also how interesting it is to make a report. And because I found that so interesting, I joined nexxar in 2018, and here I focus solely on online reporting. So I design online concepts nowadays. And yeah, I became an art director in 2021, and I'm also a member of the DDC, which is the German Designers Club. Just a quick info about how this webinar is structured. In the beginning, I will show you all the examples I collected and show you what you will or explain you why I find them very interesting and very inspiring. And after that, we will have a small Q&A session. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat. My colleague Christina will have a look at them and read them out aloud in the end, and I will try to answer everything, hopefully. And yeah, with that, I would say, let's go and have a look at all the reports. The first example I want to show you today is the corporate responsibility report from Deutsche Telekom. What immediately stands out here is a motto: money, 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 which is very outstanding for a report because, as I said, we are in the corporate responsibility report here, not in the annual report. So I find that very outstanding here. If you wonder why it's called money, 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 you can have a look at the story here on the right side. They have a special about green money, so how to invest sustainably. That's also a very cool magazine page. But today I want to show you more details on the landing page here. As I said, first of all, the motto is very cool, very outstanding. And in general, design is very nice because we have a landing page here that is a very good example of how a well-made landing page for Reaper today can be designed. We have engaging pictures here. We have small paragraphs of text that is very fast and easy readable and linked into the main content. Again, an example for a very engaging picture, and an animation with text that very much fits the picture and the topic itself, because you can see here it's the topic is about diversity speaks many languages. That's a very easy solution, like they did it here, but I like it very much because it's very bold and very easy understandable. And when you scroll further down, you have more short paragraphs of text that you can read through and jump into the content here. That's another great example for a little animation where they managed to combine the topic that we saw above, the topic of multilingualism, with the topic they talk about here, which is emissions. They talk about that they want to be responsible for zero emissions in the future, and that's what this animation is about. And in general, I find this report to be amazingly clear in design. Where you can, when you scroll down here, you have one key figure. You can concentrate on one key figure after the other. You can read the text, and in general, when you scroll through the page, you can really nicely see how the design is structured, because you have all these slanted areas here, all the angles and magenta areas, but you don't have the feeling that the sections are cut. All these angles create a very nice flow on the website, and that's the same for the magazine page. When you have the time to look at it, all the design is made in a way that you have a really nice feeling of a flow when you scroll from top to bottom. Another cool feature I want to show you here is something on the content page. I selected this one here, the management and facts. And what you can see here is when you scroll down, you have a little accordion here with little speech bubble icons. And that is an indicator for the fact that you can contact people here. For example, when you have a question about the topics that they're writing here about managing sustainability, if you have a question about it, you can ask an expert, as I call it here, and write an email to Ms. Thomas. And for another content here, for example, organizational structure, there is another lady that you can contact, who is Ms. Kubin Hardewig. And I find it a very nice idea that you have this possibility to contact people, and it shows a great openness to the readership and to the stakeholders, that they not only can write an email to, let's say, office@telekom.com, but they can directly write a specialized question to an expert. Of course, you could argue who does that anyway, who really posts questions in a report, or who writes emails to these ladies. But anyway, I find it a very nice idea, like I said, and it shows a very great openness to the readership. And yeah, speaking of community, I will come from the German, from Deutsche Telekom to BT, which is the British Telecom. Here you can see we have a design that immediately remembers, at least me, remembers me of social media, something like pages like Instagram. We are here on the magazine overview page, where you can get a very good overview of all the stories they wrote. And you can scroll through these stories here, where you get a really nice overview of everything they wrote. You can filter them with, let's say, I'm only interested in what they wrote about how they are good for their customers. And in the end, you can click on them, and here you are then in a classic story, for example, with text and videos and quotes and so on. Here, the reference to social media is more of a design idea, but I like it anyway because it's a very modern look, and has a very modern appearance to it. But there's one report that takes this idea a bit further, where the content is designed more consistently for social media, which is the Merck Sustainability Report 2021. Here again, I'm on the overview page for the magazine stories, and as you can see, all these pictures here, they are links to different stories, and they are designed in a way that they remind you of social media as well. But the cool thing here is that they are simply designed to look like social media. All these stories contain content elements that are designed for social media, so that they can be posted on social media one-to-one. I will show you a few examples here. For example, when you see a story like this, there's this element of a key figure slider that you can flip through, and all these elements could be taken out of the report and posted directly to social media, and you have your social media asset here. And on top of that, we also have a text design here that you might remind you of social media. But the cool thing here is all the examples here that you can just take out of the report and post it to on social media. Another example is this one, which is a quiz. This one in particular is, of course, programmed in HTML, so you have to make it a little bit new for social media, but you can take the design as it is here and copy it very quickly and use that for social media. And the last example is something like this, where you have an animation in the beginning, a video with a question, and a slide behind that with some answers and more information about the topic. Now I want to come to another report, which is a brand that you maybe know, Hugo Boss. That's a report I like very much because it's a good example that shows you how you can communicate a strategy change in a company. If you wonder why this picture is so small, that's on purpose. No, I will come to the real report in a minute. Just some basic behind this project. In 2021, 2021 was a year of radical change for Hugo Boss. They got a new CEO, and with him, basically everything became new. They got a new corporate strategy, a new focus on new target groups. Based on that, all their clothes became more casual. They got a new branding, and so on and so on. So that's a lot of change, and that's something that you have to explain to your users and to your readers and to your stakeholders. It's a lot of explaining to do. So we ask ourselves, how can you do that? And we decided to give this report this motto, which is very bold, very in your face, but really sums it up. It's just called new, and it's also, in my opinion, great for a brand that works in the fashion industry, because the fashion industry is about creating something new every season. So now I'm gonna show you how the report itself looks. I will restart the site here in just a second and show you a video. So that's a really loud intro, I would say. Here you can see animation that sums up everything that is new. You can see they have a new ambition, goals, stories, new CEO, and so on and so on. And on this landing page, there was the challenge to communicate an overview of everything that changed. And one detail I already told you, they also got a new branding, and this report is one of the first mediums that were produced in the new branding. And we tried to have a showcase for the new branding that really explains how the brand now works. As you can see, we have word patterns here, a very confident portrait of the CEO, and every section is introduced with these kind of word patterns. But when you come to the fact itself, they are presented in a loud but also kind of clear way, but with a little movement in them. In the end, I will jump to the stories here. In the end, there are some stories that also does a job of explaining how the brand works now. And I want to show you this one story here, because we have also one story that just talks about the new branding and explains to the stakeholders how the new branding works and how it feels. And again, this is, in my opinion, very important to build trust in the company when there is such a big change. So here we are in the branding story now. Also, here we have a video in the beginning. Every content page also has a video, not as bold as this, but they also have videos. And when you scroll down, you have a text structure that is really perfect for online reading. You have bold headlines. You have short paragraphs that you can easily read with some highlights here. You have other highlights like quotes and cool text animations. And like I said, when you see the design, it's loud and confident, but at the same time, it's pretty clean. For example, you can see it here when you see things like the key figures. Yeah, but I would say scroll through it yourself, because there is a lot to see in this report. One last thing I want to show you here is a management board, which is also very interesting. Like I said, there is a video on top of every page. And when you scroll down, you have portrait of the management board here. As you can see, that's also pretty new, because it's very casual, everyone wears a hoodie, everyone wears sneakers, someone sitting, someone standing. And that's very contrary to what the brand looked before that, because before that, Hugo Boss was very straightforward in its look, very rational, very German in its appearance, and now it's very loud and very self-confident. And one last thing here, we have graphics and we have a portrait of every one of the CEOs, and for example, Mr. Grieder, who is the CEO, a little text about him. We have a short audio statement from everyone here who explains their view on Hugo Boss and what's new in the company. So the CEO, the CFO, and so on, they explain also with their own voice what is new. And in the end, we have this little feature here where you can directly connect to Mr. Grieder on LinkedIn. Hugo Boss as a brand is maybe something that most of you know. Another brand that is maybe not so much known is the German company Stihl. As you can see, they pretty much show what they're doing. They are a producer of woodworking tools like chainsaws. And I like this report very much because it's a really well-made, to the point, state-of-the-art website. Because when you compare it to this website here, which is a corporate website, you can see that the report itself is pretty much on brand, which I find personally very important. But it's on brand, but it's way better than the corporate website. We have cool videos here, very nice headlines, and because it's maybe not so well known, I find it very good that they explain in the beginning, "Hi, we are Stihl, and this is what we do." And yeah, here you can also, in the end, you can click through it yourself. I find that very well made and very much on brand. But what I want to show you in detail is this story here, which I already opened, because it's also a very nice example of how you can tell a story on a website only by using pictures. This magazine page shows us a customer journey. So this man on the right, he owns a small cabin next to a lake, apparently. And he now thinks what he can do there. And so this site tells us the customer journey of Stihl. For example, yeah, he thinks about what to do there and maybe buying a chainsaw. Then he goes online and makes a small research. And for every picture and every step in the customer journey, there's just a small text, just so that you just get an overview and a link for further information if you want to know more. Then he buys the chainsaw, uses it, and in the end, he's happy with the result. So that's a really easily made. But you can see how well it works when you tell a story from top to bottom, just in pictures with a small text. It's really engaging pictures, and I find that a very charming example for that. Now, here we spoke about pictures, and now I want to talk about videos. So that's why I'm showing you following example. Here we see the report from ProSiebenSat.1. They are a group for entertaining, dating, and commerce. So they this means they own, for among other things, they own several television stations. They have an annual report that's tries to visualize the idea of entertaining. In the beginning, I will reload the page here so that you can see the animation we have. In the beginning, we have this animation that sums up the motto here, growing together, and especially the part of growing. And from now on, we have a permanent motion asset here. When we scroll down, you can see that this key visual is also implemented in the pictures. So the report is not is kind of branded in this in the report look, and everything is loud, everything is bold. Like I said, they want to be entertaining. But what I want to show you particularly here is the CEO video interview, which I find really cool, because as you can see here, they are standing in a TV studio. And the TV studio is also branded in the design of the Yano report. This interview is hosted by Lena Zervakis. She's a very well-known German news anchor, known from the public television, and she joined ProSiebenSat.1 later on. So she's a really well-known news anchor, and she's interviewing the CEO. And I will click through it just a bit. I hope you hear the tone, the sound. Here again, we have the key visual from the landing page.
Ja, herzlich willkommen im Zollstudio, heute mit einem ganz besonderen Gast, dem Vorstandsvorsitzenden von ProSiebenSat.1, Rainer Boujon. Schön, dass wir uns endlich mal kennenlernen, Rainer.
Ja, vielen Dank für die Einladung.
As you can see, the interview is 30 minutes long, so that is way too long for now. But yeah, I wanted to show you this because it's very interesting. Of course, that's a very special example because they are a TV studio and they have the possibility to produce videos like that. But I could also imagine that in the future, other companies can make videos like that in branded TV studios. So that's a very good inspiration for what you could possibly do with a report in general. And above of that, they also produce a podcast with another anchor. They already have 4 episodes here, each 40 minutes long, 35 minutes long, for every report they produce. So if you don't want to read, but you want to have an interview on the go, you could also listen to it here on Spotify and on other platforms. Another cool example for a video is, I will just quickly show you because time is running out. But I really like this one, this video, and I'll explain you what's funny about that later on. Oh, sorry, just a quick context. As you can see, this company is Valora. They own several brands that you maybe know from gas stations. And as you hear, they are from Switzerland. And there comes Yodel guy. Okay, I will stop here because the cool thing is what they don't explain here, but what the cool thing is that this here is a management board. He is the CEO. This is the management board, and after that, in the video, they show some key figures of the report. So I find it a very down to earth, very charming way of introducing your management board and combining them with the thing you do and with the key figures they produced. And speaking of videos, some more examples can be seen in the Migros report. Just a quick overview of the landing page. That's a very very charming landing page, very modern in its look, bold headlines, very friendly images. But what's very outstanding here is the video work they've done. When you we have this icon here, the Reporting Academy. The idea of the Reporting Academy is that interns and young people that work at Migros thought about how you can make a new annual report that is suitable for younger people. And so they produced a lot of video content, and as you already can see, the video content is already produced in not landscape format, but with smartphones, so that you can post them on social media right away. In the beginning, you have a classic interview.
Persönlich, der Miro kann noch größer werden, noch mehr Kunden anlocken, größer zu werden.
Which is a very nice idea. Also, there is a video that shows some background information of how this video was made. You see behind the scenes videos, and what I find very interesting is a scene that you can see here. I hope you can hear the sound pretty well enough.
Ein Geschäftsbericht für junge Leute. Wie boring das sein eigentlich muss.
Es ist das erste Mal, dass der Geschäftsbericht per se so viel Spaß macht.
Wenn ich nicht gewusst bin, ja, wird es gar nicht gut, ich finde es mega scheiße.
For those of you who don't speak German, what they said, the CEO in the beginning said, a report that's such a boring topic, and the other man said that's the first time that this topic of producing a report is fun for him. So that's a very very honest, very charming way of representing themselves. And the funny thing is that the lady in the end, who was interviewed, who seems to be an intern, said really said in the on report, with this video they try something new. Maybe it will be good, but maybe it will be total shit. And I find that just really funny that they are courageous enough to put that in their annual report, but of course it's not suitable for the landing page. But it's just one sentence in a video that shows honesty. That's what I find really really cool here, and a bit inspiring. And away from videos, now I want to show you something else. I want to show you a report from Shell, and we are here in the sustainability report from Shell. And one cool feature that I want to show you here is how they have managed to deal with the complexity that comes with every report. We have different stakeholder groups, different topics of everyone is interested in different topics, and so how do you deal with that? They have a filter system here where you can filter for different topics. For example, these topics here that were chosen from from Shell itself, something that they want to highlight. But then you can filter by topic. Maybe you are interested in sustainability, and you can see everything that has to do with sustainability. Maybe you're interested in the SDGs, or maybe you're interested in GRIs. You don't. Of course, you could also use the search button here, but you have also the possibility to see everything that has to do with the topics that you're interested in. And one other thing I find really cool in this report is this graphic here. They explain how Shell as a company create the value. again, that is a really complex topic to talk about. And I think they managed that pretty well here, because in the top, they have a nice animation that pretty much sums up everything, every touch point they have. And when you scroll down, again, you can filter for financial KPIs or for operations, maybe for people. And when you've chosen a filter here, you can see every information that that comes out of that filter, and how they work together in the end, how they influence the customer sectors and so on. And in the end here, down here, you again have more filters to choose from. And one last thing I want to show you, and after that I'm happy to answer your questions if you have some. So if you already have a question in mind, please post them in the chat. So the example I want to show you is a report from Vorwerk. Maybe you know them from their kitchen machines, but originally they produced vacuum cleaners and stuff like that. They have this report here with this animation that for me is a very nice idea of, because they come from vacuum cleaning, that for me at least looks like dust that you can vacuum up, and the user is kind of forced to interact with this report. And when you put this, when you use this button here, you turn on the passion, and then you get
Wenn die Thermomix-Party
the video from them that explains their brand. You can then click it away and read through their KPIs. These KPIs are also shown in a very big, bold, on-point way. And here you have some highlights they can click through and have forward and can download the report itself. Okay, these were my examples. Again, in the end, you will get an email with all the links. You can click through because I know that's a lot of content for 30 minutes. Then you can click through the reports itself and experience everything. Like I said, now we can have a talk. Just here, quick summary of what I think is important for reports nowadays. Remember social media, of course. It's don't forget to think of it, and maybe also produce your content right away for it. Keep it short and simple. Don't write too much. It's better to use emotional pictures and a focused design, some nice animations, and not too much text. Use all the medias you can produce, not only text, but also videos, like I said, animations, but audios and podcasts and everything you can think of when you have the possibility to. Be authentic. That's really something very important nowadays. Be approachable. Decrease complexity. And now every report is very, very complex. And just because of that alone, it's very important to make a great effort to decrease in complexity. And of course, in the end, think online. Reports are not printed anymore. Content on the web works a bit differently than on paper, and be aware of that. That was my little webinar. So now I'm happy for a discussion. Christina, do we have some questions? Or I don't know, if anyone wrote some questions?
So hello from my side. Yes, Karsten, we do have some questions. So the first one is, what will be the newest trends in the upcoming reporting season in your opinion? Do you already see some trends in the design phase at the moment?
Trends. Concerning trends, I would point back to the summary I just gave. I will go back here. I would say these are the most important things, because when it comes to trends, especially visual trends, I'm not a fan of creating a report just based on visual trends, because a trend is just a trend and is not a trend anymore tomorrow. And you want to have something that represents your company, your report, and your brand, and not just jump on the train of some trend. So the most important thing is that that you think about, maybe, do you want to have a motto? Was there something last year that was so important that you can make a motto out of it? If not, how can we make good storytelling? How can we explain our brand and make a design that represents our brand? Of course, it can be creative. Of course, it doesn't have to look like a corporate website. It can be new, it can be cool, but I'm not a fan of just focus on visual trends. I hope that answers the question a bit.
I think it does, yeah. The next question is, how do these innovative versions work with timing? Are they first thing people see, or does a PDF come first?
In this case, I just can talk about nexxar as a company, because I mainly know our process. When we design an online first report, we think the web first. We design websites that work on all the devices and with all the features you just saw. For us, it's the most important thing that all the content you produce as a company for your report is findable. You know, it's important that you can read it on the website, you can find it immediately and find the information you're looking for, and that works best on a website, because there you have the best way of searching for things. After that, after we redesigned a website, or at least the concept for the web design, we designed the PDF. The PDF itself usually looks a bit like the website, because of course they should work together. They should appear as they belong to each other. But the PDF then is also based on a design so that you can read it on a screen, or let's say when you read it on screen, that's the best way to read it, and that's how we design it. But like I said, we start designing the website first.
I think you also answered another question, because one user asked how you can convince the management that online interactive reports are the future. So I think that covered that as well. That's perfect.
Yeah, one thing here is also that the web provides us with so much possibilities. So, for example, when a user search for company XYZ, let's say for their margin, or their EBITDA or whatever, they can Google it, and when you have an online report, they can immediately find the answer, for example, and that's something the PDF can't give you. You must go to a website, you must download the PDF, you open the reader, then you type in EBITDA somewhere and click through everything, every phrase where this keyword appears. So that's just one example of where the website is better than a PDF. And that's also maybe something very interesting for the management board.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I can subscribe to that. The next question that we got is that much of the innovation that you showed is in ESG, but are companies also missing an opportunity on communicating investors and finance topics as well? I think that was a question that came very early on when you showed the sustainability reports.
I think all the trends I just showed you, or all the examples, there were some sustainability reports, of course, but I would say everything you saw, you can also use for an online report where you try to communicate financial aspects. Also, there you can make videos. You can think online. You can make even your tables animated so that the user can see the how the numbers evolved from last year to this year. There are so many things you can do in financial reports on the web as well. So yeah, I would say everything you just saw is also suitable for that.
And the next question we've got is whether the PDF plays an important part in the digital report as well.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the question.
Does the PDF play an important role in the digital report as well?
Of course, the PDF is important in a way that every report needs to have a PDF. Every report needs to have something downloadable. Every company needs to have something that they can give to I don't know, if someone asked for it, someone that you maybe at some point need to print out. You have a PDF and you can print it out and you can give it away. And for some legal, how do you say that in English? Legal topics, there you need a PDF. So in this way, it's important to have one. But in my opinion, what's more important for most of the readers is the website, because there you can easily find everything. You can Google it. You can and you as a company and you as a content owner and content producer can really explain yourself much better than in a PDF. But again, as I said, it's important to have a PDF somewhere to have it as a download, but the focus should be on an online report.
One of the users says that all the examples proposed are amazing and full of animations. What do you think about accessibility, which seems to be a very important point to be considered?
Yes, that's right. Accessibility is a pretty important topic and not an easy one. There are reports out there that have already thought about that a lot. Shell, for example, is one company that's really keen on on accessibility. One example here is that all the graphics they have the design so that they don't transport information with colors that would be not good for people with color blindness. But when you have maybe a graphic, a bar chart or something like that, every information is shown with different forms in the area below. I'm sorry for my English, that's really different, really difficult to explain. But yeah, accessibility is really important, and it is definitely doable in an online report. Like I said, we have examples, and I know examples that make that pretty well. Others don't already have that on their agenda, but I see it coming more and more. And as you spoke of animations, an animation isn't really a showstopper for accessibility, so you can combine both.
So I think you tackled that already, but maybe you want to repeat it again. Assuming that our company would like to have a completely new homepage for the annual report, how does such a design process look like?
Again, here I just can tell you about nexxar's process, but I guess it's pretty much the same with every design company. In the beginning, we ask a lot of questions. Were there some events last year that the company wants to talk about? Do they want to have a motto in their annual report? Do they maybe have a strategy change? Do they have a new CEO? Do they have I don't know what? On top of that, we ask questions about the branding. How does the brand look? How does the brand wants to feel like? And after that, we come up with an idea for the landing page. We discuss this design with a customer, and in the end, we also produce mobile screens. And like I said before, usually after that, sometimes parallel to that, but usually after that, we also design a PDF that fits the online report. But we, like I said in the beginning, we start with online design.
And another user would like to know if digital reports are still primarily designed to be viewed on the desktop screen.
Yes. All our reports are designed for all devices. So they look great on a mobile phone. They look great on a big screen. And there are more and more users coming to the websites from mobile phones. So it's very important to have a good looking report on a phone. But at the moment, more users use the reports on screens, on laptop, and even bigger screens. So that's still very important. But again, mobile users are increasing.
And we've got another question that tackles the topic PDF versus microsite. The user wants to know to what extent does an average microsite deviate or vary from the original PDF design? And what kind of things are considered during selecting visual assets?
A different set, of course, alone from the fact that a landing page or a home page needs to be readable on all devices. So we make a design that looks great on all devices. That comes with design changes for every device. A PDF, of course, just have one format. But like I said earlier, I think it's important to have a PDF design that reminds the reader of the website, because I want to have in the end the annual report is one medium. Of course, we just have a website and we have a PDF, but in the end is one publication, and I want to have a design that feels cohesive in every medium. So of course, the PDF design is designed in a way that reminds the user of the website, but it's still designed as a web PDF. So it's when I design a PDF, I make it in a way that it's best for screen reading, and so maybe a bigger typography, maybe a menu like you have on the website, but in a slightly different way than on an HTML website. But yeah, in the end, they should fit each other. That's really important. And I think there was one follow-up question about, assets, or what was it?
The question was, how do you select the visual assets for the online report? And I would say that's the last question for today, because we're running out of time.
Okay. Select the assets. That's a good question. I would say, first of all, it's important to have assets that fits your motto. If you have a motto, of course, we as a design agency think about a visual that visualizes the motto. So that's something that we choose as an asset, and from that we make variations that we can use through the report. And I'm not really sure if I get completely what the user meant, let's say, for example, key figures. How do we choose key figures? Sorry, I forgot that word. That's of course something. Maybe that was what the user meant. This is of course something that we discuss with the client. Is there what they want to highlight on a page, or and the same goes for pictures and so on. And everything is of course every time it's a discussion. Everyone should be happy with the report.
Thank you for answering all those questions. There are still some open questions. And in case you're interested in the answers, you can write us an email to drc@nexxar.com and we'll try to answer them, of course. So I'll hand over to you, Karsten, to say goodbye.
Okay, then I'll say goodbye. Thank you for joining. Thank you for all the interest. And yeah, I hope maybe we'll see each other next time, the next webinar. And like I said, in the end, you will get an email with all the information. Thank you.